But first, our top story today. Registration has finally opened for all age groups above the age of 18 to get the anti-COVID vaccine. Now, that's the good news. The not so good news is it comes at a time when states are complaining of vaccine shortages and many are still not in a position to get the required doses to ramp up production in time. A huge rush is being seen also at vaccine centers at the moment, which has led to fears that some of these centers could also become spreaders of the vaccine. We'll be joined by someone who's integral to the vaccination delivery drive. But first, our top story from Milan Sharma.
Mumbai, Tiruvananthapuram, Kolkata. Crowds at vaccine centers seem to have crushed vaccine hesitancy in India. While vaccine is a shield against the corona infection, vaccine centers could turn out to be super spreaders. Because no social distancing, incorrect masking, masks on the chin, nose exposed, the risk of catching COVID-19 infection is high even at vaccination centers.
We are at the Nesco Vaccination Center in the suburban area of Goregaon in Mumbai. First of all, have a look at the long queue outside the vaccination center. The biggest fear among the Mumbaikars these days is whether or not they will get the vaccine in time or not.
As some centers run out of vaccines, angry outbursts at the centers have become common.
हमारा रजिस्ट्रेशन सायन हॉस्पिटल में था, अभी हम वहाँ गए, वो बोलते नहीं है। हमने बोला बीकेसी में पहला डोज लिया, वहाँ जाएं, क्या बोले हाँ वहाँ स्टॉक है। तो हम टैक्सी करके आए अभी यहाँ पर, और अभी यहाँ बोल रहे नहीं, आप नंबर लेके जाइए।
7 हिल्स में हमने फर्स्ट डोज लिया था, वहाँ पे नहीं था तो हम यहाँ आए, तो यहाँ भी नहीं है, अब वापस घर जाएंगे।
वहाँ पे भी बंद है, फिर यहाँ पे आए।
These long lines tell you the story of people standing to get the second dose of the vaccination, whereas on the other side there are people waiting to get the first dose of the vaccine. There are senior citizens in this line and they are facing difficulties because standing in the sun, many of them have been standing from half an hour to some even 1.5 hours. There is no clarity when they're going to get their form. Those who've got their form, there's no clarity when they're going to get the second dose of vaccine, but they are waiting, they are hopeful.
While vaccine is the only antidote to save India from this crisis, COVID inappropriate behavior is doing much more harm than anticipated, especially during the second surge.
आप अनुशासन से काम कीजिए, कोई भीड़-भाड़ वहाँ पर न कीजिए, और ऐसा न हो कि वैक्सीनेशन के सेंटर्स ये कोविड-19 संक्रमण के सेंटर्स बने, ऐसा न हो, ये खबरदारी हम सभी लोगों ने लेने की जरूरत है।
Expect more rush as vaccination opens for all above the age of 18 years. With Milan Sharma in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now is a very special guest. I'm joined by R.S. Sharma. He's chief of the CoWIN app that is central to the government's vaccination delivery drive. And he's also chairman Empowered Group on vaccine administration. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Sharma. The big question that is being put today is, while the CoWIN app is now taking registration for vaccines of people between the age group of 18 to 44, are you putting the cart before the horse? Because while you're calling for registration, out there appears to be a growing vaccine shortage. State after state is claiming that they are short of existing vaccines. So are you ramping up and calling for registration when you don't have the capacity to do so, sir?
Well, I think, Rajdeep, thank you very much for having me on your channel. I wanted to, on this question about the vaccine shortage or numbers, other things, I'll not be able to answer your questions. The real reason is that I'm only in charge of creating and maintaining the digital infrastructure for vaccination, which means that registration, vaccination, certificate download, and of course the management of the vacancies at various places. That's what I am responsible and mandated to do. So I'll be very happy to answer any question on that respect.
Sure, but with that caveat, I must still ask you, since you are part of a group which is looking at the overall architecture, how do you digitally execute a project, call for registrations, when on the ground, the fact is that there aren't enough vaccines? So I'm just worried that the digital infrastructure, even if you have it in place, is not being met by the reality on the ground. Now that is the fear, the lack of planning perhaps.
At the risk of being, speaking beyond my mandate, let me say, number one, that the vaccine program, which has been going on since last 2.5 months, will go on. As you are aware, people with 45 years plus will continue to get vaccines free of cost at the government center, going forward. So that's one. The digital infrastructure is required for their registration as well. Registration and appointment and other kinds of things. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, the states or the private hospitals, they are now mandated under the, they are now given freedom under the liberalized policy to procure vaccines from the vaccine manufacturers. And they are contracting, and various states will come on board at various points in time. Some will probably come on board on first itself, somebody will come on second, etc. We will continue to inform the people who have registered on the platform as and when these states come. So as and when these states onboard onto the CoWIN system, we will be able to provide the facility for them to book an appointment. So registration is the first process of putting yourself onto the platform, and thereafter, as and when the vaccination starts in states from first May onwards, they will be able to make the bookings.
But from what I gather, there is therefore nothing, there is no sanctity about May 1st. It is possible that this vaccination drive for the age group 18 to 44 could well start May 15th or even beyond that. Am I correct? That you're only calling for registration at the moment. You're not giving us any assurances that the vaccines will be available to this age group between on the 1st of May.
As I explained to you that the 1st of May, some states may start on 1st, some may start on 2nd, depending on the, availability of the vaccine. As the vaccines, come to them, and the private hospitals also they purchase, they will come on board as and when they are ready. So it's not as if, you have a 1st of May and then everything, rolls out on 1st of May. Every program starts and, it picks up the speed. So I think this is what is going to happen with this also.
Do you foresee some element of chaos in the early days? Because apparently in this particular round, you have to get a vaccine only through registration. There can't be walk-ins. Is your portal in a position to accept the vast load of people who will come in this 18 to 44 age group to register starting today?
Two questions you asked. One is whether the portal is capable of taking the load of the people who are going to register on the system. We think so, yes. Of course, one makes estimates only. And we are expecting at least 10 million, 12 million registrations on the platform today itself. And we are ready for that. So that's one question. Secondly, as you know, as they come on board, and thereafter they will be able to, make the appointments as and when the appointments open. We have also opened the APIs of the platform, wherein people will not have to log in every time to look at the vacancies. They can look at the vacancies independently from the login, and that will make it better and more, user friendly for people to look at the vacancies. And to the second question of yours,
for a moment, come back to this May.
Let me answer the second question, which is essentially, you are saying that the fact that we are allowing only people to go to the vaccination center after getting appointments. The reason is that, it should not happen that in a walk-in case where a center has a capacity of 200 vaccines and the 2,000 or 3,000 people turn up there as a walk-in. So that will actually create chaos. And it is in order to ensure that there is no chaos, we are saying that kindly register yourself, kindly get an appointment. Only after that you go to the vaccination center.
No, no, Mr. Sharma, that is precisely the point I was going to raise, because already there is chaos. We have seen overcrowding even in this first and second phase in various vaccination centers. And now the fear which is being expressed by doctors is that many of these vaccination centers themselves are turning out to be super spreaders. Do you share that fear? Is that something that you all are taking on into account now, when you are saying now you will only do it through registration and not through walk-ins? Because there is a fear that there is already crowding. We may need many more vaccination centers.
Now you see, the point is that you continue to ask me questions which is actually beyond my remit. Nevertheless, I continue to answer you. And the answer to this question will be that this is precisely for the reason that we do not want the chaos to take place. That is why we are insisting that please go only after you got an appointment. Why does the chaos take place? Chaos takes place because more people reach the center who have not been registered and who think that, you know, in a walk-in situation, they will be able to get the vaccination. It's like this, that, you know, you have a train, you have reservations in that train, and you have certain compartments which are unreserved. Now, if you have, obviously, you reach the platform, and then you want to board the train, and if there are too many people on the platform, obviously there will be chaos. And what we are saying is, please ensure an orderly way, and that orderly way will ensure social distance at the points of vaccination, at the centers of vaccination, and that will be possible only when you go there after getting assured seat and assured booking. That's the point.
Let me ask you one more question, which I am not sure whether it's within your remit or not, which is pricing. The government directive saying that 18 to 44 group who will be registered will be vaccinated as of now at private hospitals, government centers focusing on priority groups, but private hospitals are going to be charging far more. Covaxin 1200 a dose, 600 for Covishield. I mean, should we be having one nation, one price? I mean, again, you're part of the group, empowered group. I surely at some stage you have a view on that. That should we be having one nation, one price, sir?
No, I think this is a question which is completely out of syllabus. You know, let me say that, because you know what, I'm not really looking into the pricing part, and in any case, CoWIN platform does not you know, kind of look at the payments and other things. Of course, now that we have the vaccines, different vaccines being sort of given at private centers, we will be obviously you know, putting on our portal the price at which they are offering these facilities. That's what, so far as the pricing is concerned. But on to your question as to whether there should be different pricing or not, I'm not really competent to answer that.
One nation, one price. Okay, let me ask you direct question, and you can give me short answer on things I'm sure you're competitive, competent to answer. So will the state CoWIN be the same website to register for state government and private hospital vaccination now? Will it be the same one universal website, sir?
Absolutely, it will be the same website. What we are doing, Rajdeep, is that we have also today, for example, opened the APIs to create third-party applications for looking at the vacancies and for downloading the certificates. Similarly, going forward, we will also be opening up the registration, the bookings, and also the vaccination API so that third-party apps can be developed. So our whole architecture of the software is based on the open APIs. These APIs are published on the API Setu, and then third-party applications will be developed so as to provide user a better experience.
And when new vaccines come like Sputnik, will CoWIN remain the registration website if I want to take the Sputnik vaccine or any other future vaccine?
Absolutely. CoWIN have all the flexibilities. You can, you know, have the vaccines as and when they are approved by the government of India will be included onto the CoWIN, you know, platform. That's number one. Number two, hospitals will be able to offer multiple vaccine and with multiple prices. That's another thing. We continue to book as many as 4 persons on a given mobile that already exists. You will be able to see as to which vacancies are available for which age group. That is also there. So I think we have constructed and designed the CoWIN platform, which is extensible, scalable, and people-centric.
Now, right now, sir, a person can schedule a vaccination anywhere in India. Will they now be able to do so also this age group? For example, can a person in Delhi schedule a vaccination in Kerala or Kolkata if those states are more, if Kerala is more ready to kick off the vaccination program for 18 to 44 earlier? Can I schedule it anywhere in India?
Absolutely. You can schedule your vaccination anywhere in India. Typically, you will schedule your vaccination where you are staying near your place. But in case, for example, if you took your first dose in Delhi and then you happen to travel to Trivandrum, you can take your second dose in Trivandrum also. Only thing is the system remembers as to which dose was given to you, which vaccine was given to you, and the same vaccine will be visible to you when you look at the centers in Trivandrum.
So I must ask you the big question, and I won't let you get away with this, because do you concede that we are well behind the vaccine curve at the moment? Government officials had told us that we will vaccinate 30 crore Indians by August. Only 2.36 crore Indians fully vaccinated as of now, that is both doses. 12.3 have taken single dose. At this rate, can we really meet this ambitious target of 30 crore by August?
No, I think again you are asking me a question. Sorry to disappoint you, Rajdeep, but I think you are asking me a question which is not my remit. As I explained to you, let's look at the numbers. We started with 2 lakhs and we reached 4.5 million in a day. And you know, the platform is capable enough to reach, you know, even 10 million a day. That's not, you know, I'm only in charge of the platform and I'm responsible for that, and I can answer question on that. With regard to adequacy, the numbers,
sir, I
the
take
time
that,
taken,
but somewhere all the pieces. Sir, my worry is that all these pieces need to come together. Your digital platform, the execution on the ground, all of this needs to come together, and that's not happening, which is why in state after state there are vaccine shortages. Surely now you need a change in a shift in policy, some kind of a course correction. We didn't place enough firm orders in January, February. Now we are scrambling across the world looking for vaccines. Somewhere there seems to be a gap between policy making and execution.
These are your opinions, Rajdeep. I don't share those opinions. I think we have scaled up. We are doing very well, and we are on a digital, you know, front. We are certainly, you know, doing much better than many other countries in the world. We are issuing a digitally non-reputable certificates after each vaccination. We are ensuring that each person is vaccinated with the same vaccine again and again the second time. So I think all those pieces are in place. The numbers are increasing. So I don't share your pessimism on this issue of numbers.
No, I'm not being pessimistic. I'm giving the reality. I appreciate the digital infrastructure you put in place, but at the end of the day, this has to be executed by humans on the ground, and it's not happening fast enough.
Everybody has a role to play.
And now there are shortages.
In the beginning itself, I told you that I have the specific mandate and role to play, which is basically to create and maintain and ensure that the digital infrastructure works, and that's what I'm doing. So if you have any question relating to that, I'm absolutely ready to answer those questions.
Mr. Sharma, I appreciate your joining us. As I said, it's not the digital infrastructure that seems to be the problem. It seems to be more the front end and the execution and the vaccine shortages and other problems that exist on the ground. But I appreciate your joining us and giving us a sense of what lies ahead in the weeks and months ahead. Thank you very much, Mr. R.S. Sharma, for joining us.
Thank you very much, Rajdeep, for having me on your channel. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.